Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing great. I think we are live. I'm going to check real quick. Yep, we are live on the video. Okay, things look a little different for this lesson, but that's because we are going to incorporate a song into our little mode work that we're doing. And if you've been following with me in these shredder lessons, we've been going over kind of the modes. And we went over how these modes kind of function, how we can get in and out of these modes, and that's what you should always be working on. You should always be working on these modes and how they work. Our next lessons, we'll get into pentatonic scales and how those work, and that'll be fun. But really, I wanted to just kind of demonstrate to you guys how you can practice with the modes. So when and we've always done it started in G major, the Ionian, and then we've kind of developed from there into the other modes that are attached to G major. But I want you just to hear something, and I want you kind of to start thinking about now how to practice with modes, especially because when you incorporate like your band or something like that, you're not going to be in G major all the time. You're going to be in different man, my brain just went, but you're going to be in different oh my gosh, you're gonna be either in E major, E minor, that kind of thing. So what is the song in, right? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just kind of don't mind my brain warps every now and then. That's what happens when you start getting middle-aged, man. Things start getting weird on you. But I wanted to show you like a song, and we're going to find the key that it's in, okay? And then we're going to go, okay, how does this work with our modal stuff? So I found a cool Kanye West that I kind of did a test yesterday to see how it would work, and it worked out really good. And so this is this is his new gospel record that he did, and the song's called Hands On, and it's just, man, the musicianship in this church is amazing, and I love it. And if you missed the 70s and 80s out there, sorry, it's a bummer you missed all that good music. But here, I'm going to play some of it and let you just hear kind of how it sounds. So it's kind of got like a line going, right? So I'm just trying to find it. So sometimes when you're listening to a song, you got to find where the tune is. I think we found it. So I'll turn this down a little bit. So you hear that? You can hear my guitar. And then I'll turn that up again so you can hear the background. So it's got a great opening so you can really hear the root note. Now I'm going to stop this for a minute, and I'm just going to say that, right, so I found that note, that's the root, that's what is driving this song, so we know that's the key, that's the word I was looking for before, the key that it's in, right? Well, this is an odd key for us, right? Because look at it, we've been playing in G, and now all of a sudden we're in C sharp. Ooh, that's a tough one, right? Not super easy for guitar players. But we can do this, right? So we're in C now. Are we in major or minor? So let me back this up a little bit and start playing it again, and we'll just kind of pick it apart. Now I'm going to play a little bit of a major. I'll just play an Ionian pattern. That doesn't sound good, does it? Doesn't sound right. So let me take that down a little bit. So that didn't sound right. So let me play an Aeolian, which is a straight minor, and traditional kind of minor sound, and let's play that up here on this C sharp. Ooh, that sounds much better, huh? I don't know if you can. Okay, so I think I found it. So it is this Aeolian, we're going to play an Aeolian pattern on our mode, and we're going to play it on the C sharp, right? So now I have my whammy bar on because it's super fun and I like it, and I thought it'd be fun to do it in this demonstration. So when you're playing with your whammy, it's not much different. I just have my hands kind of holding it a little bit over here. You know, you can do it however it feels good. Some people lock it where it's actually bolted like that too, but mine's a little swingy. So anyway, so we're in C sharp minor. So what you want to do is you want to know your C sharp minors. So check this out. You're at C sharp minor there, you know that. Right? So there's your straight minor. So then what you do is, okay, look at that and look at, okay, there's, so I kind of know where my C sharps are kind of going. I'm just looking at my octaves. So you see how I did that? I just went throughout the guitar real quick and just looked at where the C sharps are. And that's good. You might want to take a moment and just kind of make sure you know kind of where you're at. Because you're... So do that. Get a good look at it, because it's, you know, it's going to look a little different than what we've been doing in our G major. So now we are in C sharp minor. That's what we're doing with our song. So if I want to practice to this, and I want to practice my shredding techniques, some of the patterns that I've been working on, and moving in between the modes, then this is a great way to do it. And this is, man, this is hands down like how I've done it for years. I mean, when I was a kid, I'm talking when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, in that area. You know, and that back then I was really good at doing this kind of stuff. Where now I'm a little rusty at it, but it's fun. I really enjoy it, and it's great. This is a great song too to do it too. I always suggest that you work with simple songs with simple chord structures. Don't get so crazy. You know, you ain't gonna be able to put on Bach's Fifth or something like that and try to find it, or Beethoven or something like that. It's not gonna work. But with this kind of just simple background, you know, where I can hear it and I go, oh, okay, I see, I can hear where it's going. Like I can hear the key that it's in, and you can always practice just by playing, you know, scales and go, oh, that doesn't sound right. Well, it's, you know, you're not in the right scale. Just find the bass note. That's what I do. Just find the bass note. Now I know my chords, so I can find it. So to me, it sounds like this. It sounds like what they're doing is. Right? So we'll see if I'm right here. It's kind of got that little bend to it. If you're playing a bass. So you can hear that. So just practice in that Aeolian on C sharp minor. Okay, so I'm going to stop it again. And now I'm going to just say, hey, okay, we know it's in, got this E minor thing going, right? And we just went to the Aeolian, because the Aeolian is the straight minor scale, as opposed to the Ionian, which is the straight major scale in the modes, the most popular, let's say. So we just stick with the Ionian and the Aeolian, and you'll figure it out. Now, sometimes, like I was listening to some Herbie Hancock the other day, and when I was listening to Herbie Hancock, there was a scale that was the main scale that was in this song, and it just went. And it kind of hit me and made me go, man, that's the Mixolydian scale right there. That's what that is. And then it went into another thing. And so sometimes you'll hear something, and when you know the modes really well and you've played them a lot, then you can hear something. You kind of go, "Whoa, that they're in a certain mode. They're playing that mode, and they're just kind of ripping in that mode." And that's what a lot of people are doing when they're playing solos. They're usually ripping in a certain mode, and they like the sound of that mode. That you know. And remember, modes differ with half steps and whole steps depending on where you start on the major scale. So if you start on the second, it has a certain amount of half steps and whole steps. If you started on the third note of the major, it's going to be another set of half steps and whole steps, or the way they're arranged, the formula is going to be a little different. So hopefully that makes some sense too. I'm sure it does if you've already paid attention to the prior lessons. So anyway, let's go on with this. And so we got this cool chord progression going, right? So it's really nice. Okay. and we know we're in. So let's just play some of our patterns. So these are just straight things that we did. That was the 4. That's the 3. These are different patterns of doing the scale. That's 2. And then we worked on octaves. So let's just work on those at this beginning and see how it sounds. And you can tell when you make an error because it's not going to sound good, right? Whoop, I was on the wrong area, so that didn't sound right. Let me get back to the C sharp. So those are my octaves. Remember that? So that worked out good, huh? Just doing those little octaves. So those are just our octaves. So let's work on the scale now. Let's just work on our little patterns. See how we're doing it. Not bad. Let me rewind this. So hopefully you're getting what I'm doing. I'm just practicing the all still within the Aeolian. So you get the picture, right? You get the picture of that. Okay, so we got that down. Now let's work on moving into different modes. So if we know that Aeolian is in, we're starting in Aeolian. So we know that mixed Olydian is going to be near it, and we know that Locrian is going to be near it too, because we know our patterns. And so why I keep looking over there is because I'm just looking at the modes themselves and to make sure I get it right for the video, but so that you can see that what we worked on with these modal patterns, they're going to be available to us no matter what key we are in. So we are playing, we are starting this solo in this C sharp minor, and most of your songs are not going to be in that, but maybe some people's will. And so we know that, hey, we got mixed Olydian that's really close here. We're going to have a which is really close to Lydian, so we know that's mixed Lydian. So there we go. And then we're going to just go into the Lydian. Huh. So let's just take our Aeolian, our mixed Lydian, and then our Lydian, and let's just work on those, okay? So we can do that. Ooh, there's our song. Okay, so that's enough messing around. Now I'm going to go into the mix Olydian. Back to Aeolian. Okay, so we're going to go into this Lydian. Mixed Lydian. Lydian. Okay, so we kind of got that too. Now let's push it a little more into the other modes. Okay, so we have the Aeolian, we have the mixed Olydian, we have the Lydian, and then if we keep moving down, we got the Phrygian going on, right? So let's go Phrygian. Let's see. Let's see, where are we at? We're at Aeolian. We did the mixed Olydian. We did the Lydian. My mind had to pick that one up. It was a little harder to pick that one up. But now we're in Phrygian. And then let's go into the Dorian. right? Okay, so we went from Aeolian, Mixolydian, Lydian, then we went into the Phrygian, and then we went into Dorian. So if you remember when we were in G major, how things looked a little bit in your mind when you were playing those. You started at your Ionian here, then you went into Dorian, then you went into Phrygian, then you went into Lydian, then you went into Mixolydian, then you got into Aeolian up here. But now we're doing Aeolian, the structure of Aeolian here on the C sharp, because the song is saying, hey, play the solo in C sharp minor, because you can tell by just the sound of it, right? And just learning the bass note, the root, right? What we call the root, right? So now we got those other ones. So let's do this again. Let's start it again. And hopefully it's sounding okay. I don't even see everything. I see my levels though, and they look fine. So, you know, again, we start off in that C sharp. Mixolydian, Lydian, now let's go into Phrygian, so now let's go into Dorian. So I'm in. Okay, cool. So that was just going this way on the modes, right? Sorry, I got a little loud there. But so we were just going that way on the modes. Okay, we got to go this way on the modes too. So we know that if we started here on Aeolian, we went back to Mixolydian, we went into Lydian, we went into Phrygian, we went into Dorian, and we could see those chords that even I played. You can play the scale right on top of it, right? The Lydian mode. You can play the Phrygian mode. You can play the Dorian mode. So we saw that's kind of cool too. I was trying to show you guys that in there. So now let's move up. So if we're in Aeolian, okay. So remember, now we have Locrian and we have Ionian right next to it up here. So if we went into we got our Locrian. Hopefully you guys are hearing that. Let me turn it up just a little bit. Oh, sorry about that. My something looks like something was a little loose. We're in C sharp minor. Go up to your Locrian, which is really much your Ionian. Your Ionian just starts here on the second finger. got the... So we can see little arpeggio patterns, but we're not worried so much about the arpeggios right now as much as just knowing the mode scales. So we got the Aeolian, we moved up to the Locrian, and the Ionian. And then after the Ionian, what do we go into? Dorian. So remember we played the Dorian up here? So now let's play it. So, okay, so we've got our Aeolian, we got our Locrian, we got our Ionian, we got our Dorian, Phrygian, and then where are we at? And then we're at... Where are we at? Oh. Our Lydian, then our Mixolydian. So that's pretty up there. It's hard the way I'm sitting too to get in there. But anyway, okay, so now let's play this and now let's move up higher on our tones. See if we can get this working cool. So let's start. All right. Just make sure we're in the note, we're in the right key. So let's move up. So we're in Locrian. Now we moved up to Ionian. So let's go up to Dorian. Now let's go into Phrygian. So you kind of get the idea. Now we're in this Dorian. Now we go into the next mode, which is the what? We're going to go into Lydian. Now we go Mixolydian. Okay, so cool. We just went all the way down here on the modes, and we went all the way up here on the modes. So super cool, right? I mean, what a cool thing you can start practicing. So that, again, when you got the song that's got the bass lines going, like this one does, which just has that steady kind of stream going, right? That's why I love electronica music too, because you can just put on electronica music, find the note that it's in, and then just play over it and just practice your modal work. So, and you can do all kinds of, you know, different things. Like, so you can work on your right hand. When you take this Aeolian, remember we worked on our so it's kind of tough to do, but you work on just your and it's a burner, but you can work on just your so I'm just working on different patterns. So we'll just kind of work through it. It's a beautiful song. And try to, when you hear songs like this, you always want to try to hear like the horns and the different sections and try to mimic it. See if you can find it. So it's right there in that Aeolian area. Kind of cool, right? That's one of the horn sections. That's the other one, which is cool, right? Okay, so you're kind of getting the feel of the song. Hear those horns? So we'll work on this. And if you lose your way, you'll know, you'll hear it. So it's kind of fun just to play around with these, right? If you know some arpeggios, you can throw those in, certainly. And just let this thing play. You know, just do, you know, try to mimic what I'm doing, where I'm not every note's going to be right, so you got to kind of just keep working at it. You know, and just, but it's great because it's just got that, it's got that, or, right? It's just got that. Now there sounds like it's using a bar or something, right? Just octaves? So you can hear how I'm just incorporating everything we've learned. And by the way, I'm back all the way on Aeolian. Wow. At the end of that tune, all the way back on Aeolian. So we started on Aeolian here. We went all the way up here to Aeolian. And man, what a trip, huh? I mean, where are we going? Okay, stop that. But you see that when you're in the modes, you can, when you know these modes, you can fly anywhere. So you're no longer stationary just in G major, right? Now you go, okay, I found, your band says, hey, I'm in C sharp minor. Well, then start with the Aeolian, always when you're starting with minor. It's not always the case like that. Like I said, I heard one song that was all of a sudden a Mixolydian, and it just started that way. And you know, start with the most popular, the Aeolian and the Ionian, which is kind of the straight minor, straight major kind of idea, and then see if that works. And if you have it where you're in the minor works, then just go, okay, I'm in Mixolydian, I'm in Lydian, I'm in Phrygian, I'm in Dorian, and then I'm back in the, what is it? You know, then I'm gonna come back into the Aeolian, because I'm running out of space here. But actually, I would go into Ionian, and then I would go into Locrian, then I would go into Aeolian. But if I come up here, you'd see that pattern, because you'd start in Aeolian, then you'd be in Locrian, and then you'd be in Ionian, and then you would start your Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian this way. So you have to know the mode. So it's great to get a mode sheet and just go, okay, this is the mode I'm in. What's the one before it? What's the one after it? Work on your patterns. Work on your burst. I have a weird kind of sound because, again, I play with my nail, and I busted my nail the other day, so it's kind of chipped down, so it's not much there. But I don't play with the pick. I don't know how, actually. It's been so long. Anyway, hopefully that makes some cool sense for you guys, and you're like, man, that's great. So you guys should be able to now practice a ton on your neck and really grab some of this stuff. So Isaac, you better learn this stuff, man. If you do, you will become the most radical worship minister ever on the planet. That's for sure. So hope you guys dug that. Let's see that we can get rid of that, and we can blow this up. So the main thing you got to remember is you got to learn your modes. You learn the modes, then you can be able to play everything that you want to play and rip away. And, you know, along with those chords that you find in the song, like we did, then you're able to, you know, find the arpeggios. And I'm just working with the notes within the mode. That's all I'm doing, right? So I'm working on arpeggios that all work within the modes, meaning the arpeggios that I'm playing, the notes aren't falling out of the modal structures themselves. So when you see a pattern like Aeolian, even string skipping, remember we worked on that? So there's all these different techniques that you can use, but you have to learn to get up and down the neck. The modes is the way to do that, okay? So hope you guys have a great one, and we will talk to you another day, okay? Bless you. Bye-bye.